Hello my friends and welcome back to another medieval commentary. Today it's a 3v2. It is a preset battle. I don't know how it is called, but it is playing me, Cyrus the Great, and another ally who's random. It is Egypt. I need to see which faction I got to play. I think I got to play the Turks. Oh no, I got Egypt as well, and then I get another Egyptian army here. Yep, 3 times Egypt versus England, who starts out here, and France defending this massive castle slash city. And we need to get to that point here and try holding it for 3 minutes or kill all the opponent troops. And you see all these towers here, all of them are shooting. And we only have inferior infantry. And I'm going to show you at first, as you can see, we have 3 armies versus 2. So first I would say, oh great, an advantage. Kinda. On one side, we are all separated. The city is in one corner, as you can see, the left top corner. Cyrus the Great starts on one side of the city. I start all the way all the way to the east, the furthest away from the city. Then our last ally, he starts all over the other flank. So we don't really have a chance to come together, and the only spot where we all could meet up is here in the middle on the plains. But who is here? The English player. So what the battle, I don't know the historical background, I didn't look that up, but as far as I guess, that the Egypt leader wanted to assault the city, and the English army was on its march to support the French, but the Egyptian army came very quick, as they are lightly armored and not as heavy as the European forces. So they were surprised the allied forces, the defenders, and England is still in the plains. So the one task that England has to do is leave a couple of troops out here to back up their retreat, because they want to get with as many troops as possible into the castle here. They have quite the way ahead of themselves, but if they just leave a couple of troops in the back, which can screen off their retreat, basically forcing us to engage with their troops, the screening force, rather than their main army, then they should be fine. And they do have quite a formidable force here. Let's go over their force at first. So here, General's Bodyguard. Then we have here unhorsed knights. Unhorsed knights. Unhorsed knights. We have mailed knights. Crusader knights. Let's have a look at them. They all look awesome. Unhorsed knights again. Longbowmen. They can be very annoying. Crusader sergeants. A unit of mercenary rocket launcher. They look quite fascinating. Crusader sergeants, longbowmen, Crusader sergeants, sergeants. We have Crusader knights, mailed knights, Crusader knights, and unhorsed knights. So heavy, a very, very heavy force. It has lots of cavalry, lots of spear units, couple of archers, and couple of sword units. And yeah, let's go to my army then first, and the French army we will do last. I have here Nubian archers, 1, 2, 3, 4 units of them, and Gazis, I don't know. Yeah, here this are also missile infantry, I think, and they're all light infantry, so not really a force that you want to run up the walls and kill the enemy with. Then here I have Arab cavalry, light cavalry again, Arab cavalry, desert cavalry, Mamluk archers, So I have quite a nice archer force here on horse, but I have lots of these light cavalry units. And again, light cavalry is not the kind of units you want to use to, for example, either attack the English force here on the open ground, or even as in the city assault. The only heavy cavalry I have is my general, or the only heavy unit, and as all of these are light forces. Let's go over to the ally to my east. He has 2 units of desert archers in the front. Behind them, desert archers, Gajis. He seems to have a similar army to what I have, only that I have more ladders. Then we have here desert cavalry, Arab cavalry, Bedouin camel riders. Oh no, that's Arab cavalry. Where are these camel riders here? They look awesome. So that's a unit I don't have. Bedouin camel riders, Arab cavalry, Bedouin camel riders, and Bedouin camel riders. So again, quite the light force, not heavily reliant on cavalry. So not the force you want to storm a wall. I mean, what are horses going to do? You need to position them, or you need to get your units off horse, and then run up the walls. And as I said, both of us have only light cavalry. And now Cyrus the Great here, Arab cavalry, his general, as well as heavy unit. He has a couple of siege towers, and his main army here, desert archers, second line, Tabadaria, a heavy infantry unit, so he has the heavy force of us. Tabadaria. We have in the front line Nafatan. They basically chuck bombs, which are very effective. Peasant archers, and 3 units of trebuchets. So they're very, very good, but that's about all we have to break into the city, as these siege towers wouldn't be much use because the opponent has a couple of units on the walls, the rest of the archers behind them, and they're just shooting us down. And his last line of infantry, Saracen militia. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So he has by far the heaviest force of the 3 of us. He has therefore way less cavalry. And now we come to the French player. Here at the gate, peasant archers. Behind the gate, dismounted feudal knights. Along the wall now, nothing. Here, sergeant spearmen. 1 unit, dismounted feudal knights. Scott. These archers, you just have a look at them. They're heavily armored archers, so they're an elite archer unit. They are very, very good in close combat as well as ranged combat, which makes them very dangerous for our army. Here's the general's bodyguard. Here we have more sergeant spearmen, dismounted feudal knights, Scots guard, peasant archers, knights templar, mailed knights, and 1 unit of mercenary reboard. So as you can see, we are heavily outclassed, not outnumbered, as we do have the number or the quantity advantage, but quality wise, let's just start the battle. Quality wise, they outclass us so much. So Cyrus the Great and me said basically, we need to catch this army off guard and try to attack them as fast as possible. We communicated with Time Matrix as well, and we said, send all your cavalry forces as quickly as possible in here. It doesn't matter how many of the cavalry we lose, as long as we can hopefully kill off this army here. Because our cavalry is not going to be much use for us in the city battle itself. So we might as well lose it here and get good trades with it. Also what I need to add is, I think during the battle once I needed to go AFK, but I can't properly remember. Here's the first engagement. The English faction rushes into the skirmisher cavalry, gets a nice charge, but lost a couple of men during that, and now they're getting countercharged. I'm coming with all of my cavalry. I was very confused by their icons, as half of them were most of them were missile, a couple of them were not. So I just rushed into all of these units, now tried to kill them as quickly as possible. As you can see, his Crusader sergeants here already routing with still 42 men. His mercenary rocket launcher already gone. And now we're just trying to mop up as much as possible, as he is dangerously close to the city. The French player gets his cavalry out now, so even more support. And as I said, these are all heavy cavalry units. They charge in, mob up our troops, and done. We have a lot of cavalry, but light cavalry and missile cavalry, that's not much use. We can tie them down and then try shooting them to pieces, but how effective is this going to be? And here Cyrus the Great came with his general. I'm engaging the English general as well, trying to get him killed, because that would be a very good start. I mean, we are breaking a couple of units, but well, it's not all that great. Here the French general came, so that's something nice. We can try killing him as well. And as you can see, the English player is very unorganized. He could have just positioned himself in a defensive position with all the spear units he had, or left a couple in the backline to screen off our attack. And yes, he would have lost them, but he would have been able to get most of his army into the city. And you can see our armies, they are not really that great in terms of attacking a settlement, especially not as heavily fortified as this. So here we are just charging in, trying to get these unhorsed knights off the field. And this general bodyguard is taking casualties as well, already lost all his men, only 10 left. Cyrus the Great is marching forward with his army, pulling over here. And we are doing quite a nice job here. As you can see, our units are all over the place. And microing these is, especially for me, very difficult, as I have hardly played any medieval Total War, and differentiating the skirmishers from the melee combat troops. That was a pain. Here the unhorsed male knights, 16 men left only. These guys, the armored sergeants, 37. So we do manage to mop them up quite nicely. Cyrus' bodyguard has only 6 men left, so they took heavy losses.
Only half the enemy force remains. We must pray they lose their will to fight.
So yeah, the English forces here are as good as beaten. And guess who's running here? The English general. With one... Oh no, here is the English general. 2 men left. And routing. And my archers didn't manage to get the general killed on the retreat. Here I'm just charging to the longbowmen. And yeah, thanks to the unorganized English player.
Our enemy has command of the city.
Yeah, I did not expect that. But yeah, thanks to the unorganized English player, we managed to get them done quite nicely and didn't even lose too much. Yes, we lost parts of our cavalry, but not the main part of our cavalry. And as I said, losing the cavalry is something I'm willing to sacrifice. We are shooting at the general here. As you can see, he's not taking any losses. He's taking hit point damage, but no one is dying. Now one died. And we are just kiting around now with our light cavalry. That's the advantage. We have light cavalry, and light cavalry can just run away and is much quicker than the shaken. Okay, they only warmed up, but the French general. There are now 6 men left, 5, 4. 4 still. I don't know what the hell they're doing. 3 men left.
Victory is well within our grasp. In time, our foe will surely see this and lose heart.
So yeah, 3 men left. Not routing. And they get away, I think. So here, what was this? That's my general. We're hunting down the last units of Crusader Sergeant and everything that's staying around here, as we want to inflict as many casualties as possible.
We have broken down the walls. Now we must strike faster than the wind.
Main problem being that all the units retreat to that main circle there and then attack. Like then rally again. So if the unit routes with 40 men, it's great at first, but not great in the end. And here, the English player was being smart. He has one Crusader Knights positioned over here to eventually take out these trebuchets. That would be a great catch for him, as they are the only thing that allows us to get through the walls. We have one gap now, trying to create a second one. And yeah, now we can see here the French general running away like a coward. Wounded now, but still, he survives. And that is the
Quickly, Almighty
main
One!
problem for
We
us.
must regain command of the city soon, or all will be lost!
Yeah, all will be lost. We will see about that. So we did clean up the English player quite nicely. He has one cavalry left behind the
Praise be to
trebuchets.
Allah! We are through the enemy's walls! Let him who defies us lay in peril!
And now let's see, where is, I think, yeah, here's one unit. Unhorsed knights, one man left, they're no danger to us. That's all that survived of his force, so we did manage to mop them up very, very nicely. Mailed knights, 3 men. Crusader knights, 3 men. His general, 2 men. With the general, which is a bit annoying. Crusader knights, 2 men. And Crusader knights, 5 men. So a handful of men only remaining by the English side, but the French side is basically nearly as powerful as it was before. I know here are still 8 Crusader sergeants. The only problem for the French players, he did lose most of his cavalry units. He has only here 8 male knights left, as well as his general, and that's it. But all of his infantry, all these feudal knights and Scott Guard and sergeants, everything still staying on the walls and staying strong. So what we decided to do is, I was like, we did batter them down quite nicely. They can't come out of the gates as we have the cavalry advantage, and we will just charge in, or with our missile cavalry shoot them to pieces. So what I will do is get my units, my skirmishers up
well
the
within our
walls.
grasp. In time our foe will surely see this and lose heart.
I will go up the walls and try my best to either pin them down to give Cyrus the Great the possibility to break through, so they have to send units here and not concentrate everything on that side. And if I manage to break through, good as well. But also, the main thing is, I get these guys into close combat, and then I use my archers and everything I have here, all my ranged missile cavalry, all these guys, just to shoot up here, shoot at these troops, inflict casualties, use up all of their ammunition, so nothing goes to waste. Because I have so many, I'm not afraid of losing any, and they are of much better use now than they would be over there, as Cyrus is plugging in the gaps now. He's trying to capture the gate, trying to break through everywhere, wherever he can. And here we see sergeants, dismounted feudal knights, just ready, just eagerly waiting to meet us in close combat. Yes, wasn't that just a French unit that... here a couple of men laying. So that was quite nice. He did either manage to kill a couple of the peasant archers. Yeah, so his army is taking losses, but we can't really do much at the moment. Here my troops do land on the walls, but that's exactly happening what I assumed. Scout shooting from down, they realize that I'm charging into these sergeants and not over here. So he's positioning his units here to shoot on...
Praise be to Allah! We are through the enemy's walls! Let him who defies us lay in peril!
So they're just positioning themselves here and shooting from here now. I do immediately start firing on them, as you can see, and they take a lot of hit point damage, but I shoot half of my ammunition, of all of my archers, on these Scott Guards. And I think 7 men or so survive. So that was very, very painful for me. I charge in with close combat now with these guys. And they're only light infantry, so I don't expect much from them. But just look how heavily armored these guys are. It's insane. And also, why didn't Cyrus the Great just press forwards and through the gaps he has created? Well, because they're easily being plugged with all of these heavy units.
Breached our foes' walls!
So he wanted to make as many holes as possible. So the French player either has to send one unit to each gap or leave one gap open, allowing us then to surround him. And that's what we were trying to do here. The archers are taking shots. Not very effective, but inflicting hit point damage, which is helpful later on. Here on this wall fight, not much is happening. I'm hardly getting anything done. Yeah, our allies charging the walls, fighting against peasant archers. That should be possible. But here's Scots Guard, and this is where I'm fighting against the sergeants. So we do attack them on multiple sides, but the French units are holding out strong, and they still have dismounted feudal knights. So if it gets a bit hairy, they just send them up and, well, defeat us this way. So not much is going on now. Might as well fast forward it a bit. As you can see, Scots Guard still strong with 20 men. It's just insane. All these units here, shooting at them. It's raining death. Hardly anyone is dying of them. 14 men left. My units here, they are fighting, but... well, I did manage to get the... what did I? Yeah, it seems I got the sergeants, but now the dismounted feudal knights are here. And now Seriously Great said, let's break through there now, send your whatever cavalry you have left, as I can do rear charges and just charges in general in the main city. So I just pull all of my cavalry on the side.
We have breached our foes' walls!
Just waiting behind his army at first to not show the enemy immediately where am I going to advance, to let them think a bit and maybe make a move that is less advantageous for them than it is for us, and we can exploit the gap then. Here, dismounted feudal is just casually fighting against everything that's staying here. Another unit coming to support. And in this blob I can't really take part in, so I think I'm going to use my army and push up this street. And yeah, he was afraid of that, so he has one unit of dismounted feudalists that are going to plug this gap. And just see, even though we would win this battle, we need to go through here, up here, and in here, where now more of the English forces have been rallied. The 8 sergeants, we had them already, 7 more Crusader sergeants came, and Crusader knights, oh no, 3 men we had them. So yeah, really not that much left. 5 Knights Templars came back from the French cavalry. So yeah. So let's break through here, let's disrupt them. It's only the one unit with cavalry. Even though it's just light cavalry, they do inflict damage. And with a charge, they do still manage to do something. And you know, these 52 victories
is well within our grasp. In time our foe will surely see this and lose heart.
And also what you can see is, due to my cavalry charge, I'm pushing them back out of this position, allowing us then in the end to pull through here maybe. And yes, I take losses if I would pull through, but come on, I still have that much cavalry. And they, as I said, not too much use later on. Even now they are not that great of use. But with every pull through I make, I'm getting these feudal knights out of position. They already lost 10 men, which is great for us. Here that fight is going on with archer support now. We should be able to win that. And they're getting tired. These peasant archers coming down. Now let's see what is the Scot Guard doing here. Yeah, 7 men remaining. Casually firing on my bowmen here. Feudal knights, 31 men. Sergeants being with 30 men. And yeah, everything's just shooting at them constantly. Yeah, these French units are getting overrun slowly but certainly. Here, French cavalry comes inbound with their general. And I wanted to kill him, but these mailed knights blocked me the way, so I was like, ah, dang it, I just attacked them, get them off the field. If the French general stays in here, well, we can still take him.
The enemy are badly bloodied. They have lost half their men.
Good. We can see now the desperate fight here.
Victory is well within our grasp.
Dismounted feudal knights down to 16
will surely
men.
see this and lose heart.
The married knights, 1 man left. Now another charge, one to charge comes in 5. And just before they charged, he pulled them back. At the same time, I pulled a couple of 2 cavalry units around the flank here along the wall, just to charge in here. I was giving attack orders on the general, as he only has 1 man left, and that is the general, obviously. But while the general was here, they was charging straight at him, but then he pulled back, and medieval is not that smart with, like, answering that, I would say, as this unit still charged right down where the general was, like a couple of seconds ago, instead of trying to intercept him. So he's gone again, sitting safely behind these walls. He's trying to get these peasant archers in there, and you can see I gave the attack order when the archers were there. We still can intercept them partially. Now the rest of my cavalry is attacking these rebuild artillery. I think they didn't do anything. I'm not even sure if they shot. And yeah, the French units of the wall need to be pulled off now to try and support this. He's Scots Guard. Just an absolute elite unit. Yeah, all our archers still firing into their back. And that allowed our Egyptian ally here to seize the
fights
walls.
with horns made of clay.
See.
We are winning the battle.
Desert archers trying to capture the gate, now allowing our army to pull through here.
They have lost the walls. Send your troops to take the rest of the settlement.
In here, Cyrus the Great's general staying in front of the gate, just slaughtering these peasant archers. And here, my cavalry is eagerly taking care of all of these infantry units, with Cyrus the Great's help, obviously. And the great thing is, if they flee, they're fleeing directly through all of our units, meaning every one of our guys can get another hit off and kill another couple of them. We're getting oh no, that's the Scot Guard firing in there. I mean, come on, these guys just look awesome. Yeah, more cavalry coming up from the back. So, if the French player would have pulled back with his units into this, it would have been fine. And yeah, here now they even fight to the last minute, which is to our advantage in this case. Normally I would say no, but in this case definitely is, as all of these units we kill here will not fight us here or here. And now the battle seems to look better and better for us, and the bar's heavily in our favor. We lost 57% of our troops, but the enemies lost 93%. And that just comes due to communication. Because firstly, the English player could have screened his forces off and pulled back in a, I would say, controlled retreat, but he didn't. And on the other hand, the English player could have either faced us more properly. As he tried running, he realized very quickly that this is not working for him. And he was, like, even though his troops were already close to the gate, he then pulled around and charged back into us. And the main issue with that was...
foe has lost control of the city!
Good, we captured that gate now. And the main problem being then with him turning around is his troops were already tired because of running in the desert. Our troops don't get tired that quickly in the desert because we are heat resistant. And his troops over there that were fighting before are dead when the reinforcements arrive. Yeah, here Cyrus the Great was then like, oh, let's charge in, let's kill the general. But the English player was still awake and came down with all of his knights. I tried pulling through here with my cavalry, as you can see. All of these forces just bashing through there. His general is still alive.
Rejoice! The infidel general lies dead, and now
Finally.
his men fear us.
So we definitely did a lot of hit point damage to the English general before, as he fell quite
Victory
quickly
is well
there.
within our grasp. In time our foe will surely see this and lose heart.
And here you see it's a chain route now. The units don't even get into close combat; they just break on the way to it. The English general, the French general flees again, not flee is not routing, but running away again, trying to make a last stand. And even though these guys are not properly surrounded, now they are routing. So yeah, in the middle of the battle, when we basically just defeated the English army, I was like, oh god, how are we going to win that? But it turned out to be quite nice. It was not too difficult. But as you can see, all these towers are constantly shooting. And that is so annoying. I mean, thanks God we have so many troops left. So we can just soak up the damage and not really care about it. But if it would have been a very close battle, these towers would have just wrecked our units and secured the victory for the French and English player. Here we are just pressuring through now. The last unsuccessful tries holding us back.
Our enemy has command of the city.
Well, what does this mean? There's one unit we forgot about, as well as our allies then, I guess. These 7 annoying Scot guards still staying here. And yeah, basically what's going on now.
Our cursed foe has lost control of the city. Rejoice! The infidel general lies dead, and now his men fear us.
So yeah, we're just pushing forwards, pushing through, killing everything we can find, keeping or capturing this middle point.
My lord, our men are in command of the city.
So now we just need to hold the place for 3 minutes. As you can see, the timer's ticking down now. Let's just speed this up, as we're just killing off everything. And then Cyrus and me basically were just joking around about the Scots guards. So he's soon going to try killing them off with his trebuchets. And just before, like 20 seconds before the battle ends, I'm going to send in my cavalry to try finishing them off, but I didn't look at the time and it was already too late. But they can't do anything anymore. We have all of our forces in the middle circle there, and they can't get through the gates, as we have captured them and are in control of them now. And they will just get shot to pieces by them. As you can see, the trebuchets are nicely accurate. They hit the area, but the walls rather than the unit themselves. They're very tight and reloading, so they are shooting now. And there are units coming. Trebuchet 16 men against these 7 Scots that are already wounded. I mean, I did shoot at them for ages. And now you can see lightly armored daggers with a torch.
Allah have mercy. We have lost half of our men.
Yeah, fighting against these heavily armored guys with swords.
Our foe
Killed
fights
one
with
guy,
horns
though.
made of clay. We are winning the battle.
So yeah, the enemies lost 100% of the army, which is not entirely true. But we
Great
lost
victories
now
are like sweet
61.
nectar. Come, let us drink of the most rare and glorious fruit.
So the timer ended, and as you just saw, Cyrus was just damaging the city when the unsuccessful try of killing of the last unit. Here the deployment, we did have the numerical advantage. We had a roughly 600 men more than the opponent, but they had heavily armored units, while we mostly had light armored. Apart from Cyrus, he had the heavily component of our army. Everyone lost about half of their army, and kills, we basically killed off everything. 450 and 550. We did very, very nicely there. The English player did not... He actually got more kills than the French player. Huh, that's interesting. Well, as you can see, the Englishman has remaining 0, and the French army has remaining 6 of their beloved Scots Guard. Let's see which of... okay. Arab cavalry. Let's see which units did do very well. Casualties inflicted 67, that was the body. This is the army of Cyrus. 67 of his bodyguard, his heavy infantry. 14, 27, 33, 22, Jebusites didn't get that many, did hardly get any kills, but they just made the holes in the wall. So quite evenly distributed, from 5 to 30 kills on each unit. That's nice. That was the ally to the right with his cameraders. Arab cavalry 50 kills, 36 with his cameraders. Bodyguard 28, Desert Archers 13, 19. That's very good as well. 42 on with his Gajis, so it's very light infantry, that is awesome. Now we come to Miami, my bodyguard 74, and then 37 on my Arab cavalry, and my archers 30, 28, and 17. Oh no, that were actually my Gajis. Like, my Nubian archers hardly got anything done. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this battle. I surely enjoyed playing it. And if you want to see more of this, just leave it in the comments below. If you like this, please give it a like and subscribe. If not, then give me a dislike and explain me in the comments why, so I can try to improve the next time, which I'm really going to try then. And I see you next time.